Well, today marks the end of Trump's first 100 days. We asked the question, does the good outweigh the bad? Today also marks the end of Hot Mics' first 100 days. We started on Inauguration Day 2. One of my favorite people, a truly handsome actor of film and television, is in studio as well today to help us celebrate and give us an honest report. This is Hot Mics with Billy Bush, presented by our friends at LA Golf. We are live on TuneIn and YouTube. It's Hot Mics. Listen, it's also to the day, 50 years since the end of the Vietnam War. I think of the men who sacrificed their lives and those alive today who suffer from PTSD. You have my respect, sympathy, gratitude. Best films about Vietnam, got to be Apocalypse Now. I think of Born on the 4th of July. Oh my God. Two of the best roles of Tom Cruise's career. Definitely Born on the 4th of July. And then, of course, Les Grossman in Tropic Thunder. But I guess that's another war film, kind of. Anyway, first take right here. Blake and Ryan Reynolds out again last night, supporting Ryan's bromantic co-star Hugh Jackman in the opening of his new off-Broadway play. Sexual misconduct of the middle classes, whatever the hell that means. The paparazzi were waiting right by the door. It's almost like they, had a little tip that they might be coming out. Beautiful. Look at this, beautiful. No one lobs the question anymore. If it's TMZ and these people, where's that question that they lob out? What are you going to do about Baldoni? No one asks anything? It's interesting. Anyway, I said last episode, verbatim, Blake Lively is dug in. Now she and Ryan are ramping up posts, but limiting comments to praise only, of the posts of their public appearances, determined to plow right through this whole scandal unscathed. Blake and Ryan are in a battle of wills with Baldoni, TikTok mom sleuths, and you, the juror in the court of public opinion. She's missed every opportunity to own it early and completely, and now she's placing all her chips on everyone else, giving up and just moving on. I don't see how this happens. Apologize, Blake. It's not going away. As for Ryan, the National Research Group just came out with their list of stars who put butts in movie theater seats, the biggest stars, top 10. They're all men. And they're all old men. Denzel, Cruise, The Rock, Pitt, Hanks, Will Smith, Keanu, Leo, the youngest on there, Ryan Reynolds, in the top 10. Even if Blake goes down, which he will, does his career survive? Is he bigger than the scandal? Deadpool. Is it, is it that women want to see men on the screen but talk about women? I guess we all want to talk about women. Women are more, we care what they're wearing, we care what they're doing, who they're dating, Men are really, in the entertainment world, second-class citizens, let's be honest. So let's talk about the tale of two interviews. There's two ways to do the interview thing, right? Challenge your subject, hold them to account, or blow sunshine so far up their ass they're whistling Dixie. One of each style has gone viral. Okay? We're going to get to those. I'm on the hunt for more annoying men other than Ryan and Trump. Sometimes Trump's hysterical, let's be honest. But always he lives rent-free in our brains. So the tale of two interviews trending right now. Meghan Markle's podcast appearance with Jamie Kern Lima, an unusually effervescent, happy, somewhat sycophantic interviewer. Why Meghan teed herself up for one giant ass-kissing session in a second. But let's begin with the actual kissing of the ass. Not since Jenny Finch have softballs been hurled so effortlessly.
Today is special. And I want to just open up by, because we've had so many conversations about this where we've talked about how special and important it is for friends to check in on each other and say, are you okay? So my very first question, because I think in friendship, it's so important. And I think so many people also have this question for you is, Meghan, how are you? And are you okay?
That's so kind. Yeah. I am. Yeah. I'm better than okay.
That's the question everyone has. Yeah. Oh, God. I'm on a little sleep. I have to tell you, I feel a little punchy today, but she reminds me of like Stuart Smalley, Al Franken's character from SNL. Damn it, I'm good enough. I'm smart enough. And people like me, or whatever he says. Okay, that woman seems very lovely. I want to be interviewed by her someday. Some slight baby reindeer vibes, but okay. Now we go to the other side of things, to an ABC News interview. Terry Moran from ABC with Trump in the Oval Office. They get into that photo of the deported Maryland alleged gang member, MS-13 member, Abrego Garcia's knuckles. His knuckles have what's on them a proven to be photoshopped tattoo of MS-13. Here's the exchange.
He wasn't a member of a gang. And then they looked, and on his knuckles, he had MS-13.
There's a dispute
well,
over that.
Wait a minute. He had MS-13 on his knuckles tattooed.
Oh, he had some tattoos that are interpreted that way. But let's move on.
Wait a minute. Hey, Terry.
He did not have the letter MS-13.
It says MS-13.
That was photoshopped. So let me
That was photoshopped. Terry, you can't do that. Hey, they're giving you the big break of a lifetime. You know, you're doing the interview. I picked you because, frankly, I never heard of you, but that's okay. But I picked you, Terry, but you're not being very nice. He had...
Oh, my God. Terry. Yeah, look, somebody just needs to go in and tattoo MS-13 on Donald Trump's knuckles and then say, like, he's a gang member. Look, Trump has... It's so clearly a Photoshop. And Trump is sitting there. This is crazy. Any other president does that, and this is like a huge issue. But we're all sitting there knowing, it's just Trump. Oh, it's just the president of the United States. No big deal. Moving on. All right. Now, because we're doing a very bipolar episode here, back to the butt buffing of, that's right, I invented that term, the butt buffing of Meghan Markle by the far too happy Jamie Kern-Lima. She is the Hannity to Meghan's Trump. Meghan says she writes emails to her kids every night.
I'd created for the kids these email addresses that sort of like names, again, that you would never guess, that I will give them at some point in their lives when they're older. But before I go to bed almost every night, I email them.
Wow.
Things that you're not going to frame, the things that you're not going to put pen to paper in a journal, but they will end up at one point in their life, maybe when they're 16 or when they're 18, that I say, here's an email that I've been keeping for you.
I have full body chills right now.
For your...
You and me both, honey. You and me both. Back to the Trump and Terry show. Trump says he's got Putin under control. He doesn't. Trump bullies the crap out of Terry. No patience for dissent of any kind. Always gets personal. Petty? Take a look.
Do you trust him? Do you trust him?
I don't trust you. I don't trust a lot of people. I don't trust you. Look at you. You come in all shooting for bear. You're so happy to do the interview.
I am
And
happy.
then you start hitting me with fake questions. You start telling me that a guy whose hand is covered with a tattoo doesn't have the tattoo.
all right.
I mean, you're being dishonest.
No,
But-
I'm not.
but Let me
No,
just
I am
tell
not,
you,
sir.
do I trust? I don't trust a lot of people.
It is beyond rude. Terry Moran is about as polite and doing his job and holding the president of the United States to account in the most gentle and tender of ways. And he just gets so personal. You got to hand it to Terry. I mean, for deftly balancing the act of holding the tempestuous Trump to account while maintaining his dignity and self-respect, hard to do, and ultimately not having the president walk out. Right? If there weren't cameras in the room, if they weren't on camera, I assure you, and who knows this better than me, Terry would just swallow all of Trump's bullshit like everyone else, like I did. It's not worth it. He's a big whale. Who cares what he says in closed quarters? I was on a bus with Trump. He's running his mouth. I didn't know they were recording. I'm like, okay, whatever. Okay, keep going. Whatever you're saying. I don't know. Right? But if you're on camera with it, wait a minute. What would you do? I mean, Terry, believe me. Every journalist in the world who's interviewed Trump has talked to him off camera and heard some crazy, crazy stuff. Is it worth challenging him? No. You know why? Forget Billy Bush. Forget Terry Moran. I'm only going with CBS now. Forget him. Terry's done. He's out. And there goes Terry. And what does a journalist bank on? Access. They need access. This is exactly why, Joe and Mika from MSNBC, tucked their tail between their legs right after Trump won and went down to Mar-a-Lago and kissed the big orange caboose. Now, back to the woman giving a royal shine to Meghan's behind. She is the founder of IT Cosmetics, which she sold to L'Oreal in 2016 for $1.2 billion. So that woman with the happy smile who gives you Stuart Smalley vibes, Jamie Kern-Lima, she's a billionaire, baby. Respect on that front for sure. And this is definitely a podcast, tit for tat. Jamie's going to return the favor on Confessions of a Female Founder. I think that's Meghan's show. But for now, Meghan loves hard work. She works really, really hard on podcasting, jam harvesting, cooking, filming, branding. Through all this, Meghan says,
but I'm happy. I'm happy. And the kids are healthy and H is great. And
H.
So, that's the stuff that fills my cup. But I'm trying to also enjoy these big wins right now.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. Oh, my God. I don't know. I say this. H. I love the fact that she calls Harry H. Hey, R, I got a question for you. R, can you, R, are you in there?
Yeah, babe.
R. Do you think Meghan is getting a raw deal? I have said this too. I think we said this before. If I had dinner with Meghan and I was seated next to her, I guarantee I'd come out of it saying, you know what, she's lovely.
I agree. I do think there's totally too much criticism of her. Maybe I'm missing something, and I always look at the bright side of people. You know that about me. But I think there's too much hate out there for Meghan Markle.
I would like to give her some advice, though. I would like to just say, be more self-effacing. You know what I mean? Like, make fun of yourself a little bit. I don't like when people force-feed an image of themselves.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like bumps and bruises. I make fun of myself on the bus and the what. I don't give a crap. I appreciate when you get, she's not at that point in life maybe. Maybe you need to get your ass kicked a little more, and then you just, you become that. I don't know.
Self-deprecation
goes a long way.
Huge. It's massive. So I think she could use some of that, Bill.
I think so. All right. You know what? Let's let Trump get the final word. We're going to go back one more time now to the other side of the interview spectrum. Let's end with this one more zinger from the Don at Terry Moran.
You have 100% confidence in
I don't have 100% confidence in anything. Okay, anything. Do I have 100%? It's a stupid question. Look,
it's a pretty important position.
No. You don't have 100%. Only a liar would say I have 100% confidence. I don't have 100% confidence that we're going to finish this interview.
It'd be so great if Terry Moran said, and you, sir, are a liar. So I asked the question again. Do you have 100% confidence? All right. Moving on to the star of our zeitgeist right now. Cannot get enough of Bill Belichick's 24-year-old overindulged whippersnapper of a girlfriend, Jordan Hudson. She's 24, Bill's 73, and his balls are squarely in her purse. Nobody wants to see this. It's hard to see. An icon on a pedestal with Vince Lombardi, Tom Landry, Mike Ditka, held captive by a child. I mean, I have a 24-year-old daughter. Exact age. If she told me she was dating a 73-year-old man, I would take her in for a psychiatric evaluation, and then I would take myself in. But what did I do? I mean, this is somebody's fault, and probably mine. Although that wouldn't really be daddy issues. I would bring in my father, because it's granddaddy issues. This is 2 generations we're talking about. I would say to my dad, what did you do to my daughter? Because now she's dating one of your friends. This is insanity. And you know what? If he starts losing at UNC, Tar Heels coach, if he starts losing and this team doesn't do well, guess what? Jessica Simpson got blamed for Romo's performance on the field. Taylor gets blamed when Kelsey drops one. This woman is going to get it. But right now, she seems to be hovering over it. I just listened, by the way, to Charles Barkley, on Dan Patrick's show. We love Dan. Dan's a friend. We were watching him before we came in here. And Chuck said, look, he's been friends with Belichick a long time. And he said, he's a great friend. and I'm actually concerned about him. I don't know if that meant like there's elder abuse going on here or something like that, or he's just so whipped it's unbelievable. But Chuck said, I'm going to give him a call. And so I don't know how that will go. But speaking of like being mean to the press like Trump was to Terry Moran, I mean, Bill Belichick has been mean to the press corps forever. I mean, maybe it's just not his style, but he's famous for making journalists in the press conferences feel this big, for asking a question. The guy from Sporting News, is asking a question about the game, and he's just reduced to a tiny little gremlin. You know what? One more time. Jordan Hudson, the star of Girl Interrupting.
You have Jordan right over there. Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
No.
No, we're not. So Turtle Boy, our friend who covers the Karen Reed trial and has her back more than anyone you've ever seen, he's a Boston guy, and he only talks about Karen Reed online, but he had to take a break. He said, little off topic, but needs to be said. Bill Belichick is destroying his legacy for a woman who was a baby on 9/11, and she's not even, hot, but let's not talk about her. I didn't mean to read that. I should have left that part out. She is very attractive, but she's also a child. He better lose no more than 2 games next year in the extremely weak ACC, or people are going to point out the obvious. Yeah, like I said before, I mean, that just happens. But all right, new info on what really happened during that CBS interview. Allegedly, she stormed out, and then she stormed back in like 20, 30 minutes later, interrupted again, and shut down questions about football, too. I mean, this is nuts. The amazing thing, also report today that Bill Belichick asked UNC and the athletic department to CC Jordan on all emails about the football program. That's crazy. All right, let's take a quick little pause for the cause here and thank our sponsor, LA Golf. We love it. Couldn't do it without you. Hot Mics is sponsored by LA Golf, the most technologically advanced golf gear on the market. They got 2 clubs right now that are must-haves. A driver that you match your swing speed to the size of the club head on the driver, and believe me, it straightens out your drive in a crazy way. And of course, they've got the putters. They got 2 different, the blade putter and the wide back putter, and I'm telling you, with the tungsten face on it, which means the ball just rolls right off the face, no skidding. If you slow-mo a putt in golf, you'll notice that the ball skids for a second first, and then it starts rolling. Because of the tungsten face, it starts rolling immediately, so it holds the line. It's unbelievable. We had Jamel Hill as a guest the other day, and I gave her the tracking number moments ago and sent her a putter. Believe me, it's going to change her game. All right, Terry Moran attempted to have civil discourse with Donald Trump over his first 100 days. Some crazy stuff has happened, but to those who are acting alarmed at all of Trump's activity, he's only doing exactly what he said he would. I mean, 211 executive orders, most in modern history. 26 on day 1, from DEI to gender restriction to shower heads, baby. And not one actual bill passed by Congress. They were all executive order. Over 200 lawsuits in response to his executive orders on immigration, DEI, voting regulations. So this legal expert I was watching, Ed Whalen, said, pretty interesting, for Donald Trump, law is nothing but politics. So it's not surprising that he would apply his tactics for political battles in the legal realm. Always be on the attack, never admit error, stoke grievances, proclaim false victories, post conspiracies, contempt, like MS-13 knuckles, condemn betrayal, decry tyranny, own the libs, redefine reality, sow chaos, improvise on the run. Pretty well said. He said to me famously, I told you, back when we were doing Access Hollywood in New York and I was calling him out on the ratings, he said, Billy, stop asking about the ratings. I mean, just who cares? You know, I'm number 1, I'm number 50. You just tell people and they believe you. That's firsthand. That was to me. So Thanks to his wild wielding of tariffs against friend and foe alike, markets have tumbled. Thanks to the abrupt and overwhelming expansion of his powers, deportations without due process, acts of retribution, firing all federal agency inspector generals. Like no ombudsman, no one with a whistle. Popularity has tumbled. He stands at 42% right now. Biden, at this time, after 100 days, 59%. Which words do you connect with Donald Trump? Asked in a poll by New York Times and Siena College. Chaotic, 66%. Scary, 59%. Exciting, 42%. Trump celebrating his 100 days in Michigan with a rally, talking to the working man in a 3,500-person auditorium and proclaiming victory. Successes? I see some successes for sure. Border crossings down 90%. All talk of immigration is a safe space for him. I mean, the use of videos showing shaved heads, scary criminals hunched over and being put in this big mega prison in El Salvador. You know, the use of social media is so smart. The attack on woke, just woke anything, January, February, that resonated big time. Gender ideology, we're snapped back into position where male and female are what we have on our driver's license. We're kind to everyone. But, you know, that seems to be what people want. Biological males out of women's sports, popular. The pursuit of elite universities, withholding federal funds. I don't know if that's legal, but I do think there's a problem indoctrinating students with liberal ideology. Like, where's the balance? Where's the debate on campus? I like that he took a stand on that. He shut down these anti-Semitic Hamas protests. Now the failures are giant, man. I mean, defying the rule of law in every way. No due process, whether it's for that, alleged MS-13 Maryland citizen, Abrego Garcia. A lot of personal retributions. The story of what he did to this guy, Chris Krebs. Chris Krebs led the cybersecurity and infrastructure security agency called CISA during Donald Trump's first term. Trump ordered the Justice Department to pin a crime on Chris Krebs for stating nothing was wrong with voting machines in 2020. He looked into it. He did his job. He said there was nothing wrong. And now Trump is trying to sick the Department of Justice on him. He said this about Krebs. I think Chris Krebs was a disgrace to our country. I think he was terrible. By the way, I don't know him. I don't know him. I'm not, I don't think I ever met him. I know very little about Chris Krebs, but I think he was very deficient. He just had to quit his private sector job, the guy. I mean, shaking down legal firms that ever had any lawyers that worked for his enemies. Extortion of corporate America. They used that on the New York Times this morning, the word extortion. And Trump called it bending the knee. Make them bend the knee. CEOs flying to Mar-a-Lago and writing giant checks to Trump's political operation. Bezos and Zuckerberg and Tim Cook, all the tech bros donating at the inauguration. All extortion because they know he's going to come after them if they don't. It's fear. It's mafia kind of stuff. It's frightening. The shakedown of media companies. ABC for $15 million because George Stephanopoulos misspoke. CBS in a huge lawsuit right now they're trying to get rid of so they can sell the company to Larry Ellison's kid. Trump is building a war chest that he's going to need to spend in the midterms because it looks bleak right now. It looks like a blue wave if it keeps going like this. The only thing not living in fear of Donald Trump, the economy, the bond markets, the stock market, the global trade war appears like a disaster. It looks like Trump wants to find an exit ramp, but Chinese manufacturing just reported its worst month. So maybe the threat of tariffs is enough to get some kind of deal. Too early to know. But long-term, 145% tariffs is nuts. We got to make a deal. Because here in the USA, very soon the shelves are going to be bare because of this scorched earth war with China. There are insider reports that Trump is desperate. He says Xi Jinping is calling him. No, he's not. But he may soon. And if he doesn't call you, you should call him and say, listen, I meant to call someone else. I got the wrong number. But while I have you, again, nobody can be shocked by the trade war. Since the 80s, he's been crying, they're ripping us off. They're killing us over here. It's unfair. Turns out people like the rhetoric, but not the effects of it. and the market certainly doesn't. They thought it was just about us getting better deals, but he's been so obsessed with countries freeloading off of us, but with that comes their dependency on us, which, you know, we kind of like that. We kind of like America as the unquestioned world leader. We're losing that. Do we want to blend it into do we want to blend into the world, into this new multipolar world, or do we want to lead the world? I hope whoever comes along next can restore it. Maybe he can. Just pick up the phone. Talk to Macron and everyone else. I will settle that. He says, I will settle that war in 24 hours. Talking about Ukraine and Russia. Now he says he was kidding. He promised peace. He hasn't delivered. Putin's run over him, throwing Ukraine under the bus, telling the world that, you know, they started the war with Russia. Ukraine started the war with Russia to appease Putin and lure him into peace. It didn't work. Vlad then bombs the bejesus out of Kyiv directly. And what do we get? A response that says, just, you know, Vladimir, stop, on Truth Social. Oh, my God. And then finally, there's the Secrofants, the secretaries of the cabinet who are all sycophantic. Hegseth. We almost had Matt Gaetz as Attorney General. Remember, we avoided that. Kristi Noem and Marco Rubio, and they service him publicly in a cultish way. It's cringy. He loves a press conference where his cabinet passes around the proverbial knee pads. Little Marco, the worst offender until today, Attorney General Pam Bondi. He's sitting in a conference room, and Trump looks over at Pam, and he goes, Pam? And Pam goes, President, she didn't even say Mr. President, President, you are the greatest president that we have ever experienced in the history of America. No president has ever started like you. You promised these things. You've delivered. It has been my honor, Mr. President. You've seen it from Marco Rubio in the Oval Office. The Prime Minister of Norway is there, and he's like, Marco? And then Marco goes, oh, you've got it? Okay, listen to this. Here's Pam Bondi today taking her turn in the barrel for Trump. Take a listen.
Pam?
President, your first 100 days has far exceeded that of any other presidency in this country. Ever. Never seen anything like it. Thank you.
Oh, my God. Can you believe that? That is humiliating. You're the Attorney General. That is humiliating, but it's a job requirement. Let me a reminder. It's also the first 100 days of hot mics, right? We've been on exactly the same as the Trump administration. We started on an inauguration day. Steve, do you have anything you'd like to say?
Well, I just like to say that I think this is the greatest show that's ever been launched in the history of shows.
You can do more. You can do more.
Well, I've also heard that it's greater than great when I walk out on the street.
People say that.
And also, I think that you're the handsomest.
Rob, do you have anything you'd like to add there, Secretary of Research and Producing?
Well, Bill, some things have happened in America, but nothing like this. This is something that's not happened before in the history of our country. And I think Howie has some things to say.
Howie, would you like to humiliate yourself too? Is Howie Mandel in there, our landlord?
Yeah, I'm here. This is just, it's just, I'm just getting emotional. No, I am. I just think that this whole hot mics, great. I've never been around this kind of greatness. I'm sorry.
I understand the emotion, Howie. I get it. I totally. Thank you so much. Anyone else wants to humiliate themselves, please do. It's just it's crazy. The biggest problem is beloved MAGA. There's some great people in MAGA. You're beautiful. I see you out there. Deeply faithful people. And you cover for them because, you don't want to look dumb for getting hoodwinked. And, fair criticism is admitting fault. And Trump taught them life is a zero-sum game, right? In their defense, nobody likes to be shamed by shitty little shamers, and the media is loaded with them. Hillary used the term deplorables, and people don't forget that, but they don't want to be told, you screwed up, ha ha, we got you. If you give some of these people a graceful out, they might admit, oh, God, this is frightening. What the hell did we get into? We'll see. It's certainly exciting if you're in the media like we are.
Hey, Billy. We got something from YouTube here. City Sid, I thought it'd be a good time to jump in. Wants to know, did you talk to Wendy Williams again after the quick chat on Monday? People want to hear more, Bill.
You know what? I was at dinner. I think I saw what was her call. It was too late. It was in the middle of dinner, and in fact, Steve, you were there. And I missed the call because I missed something from an unknown caller. But Wendy will call back. Never does two weeks go by before we chat. Good, thanks. Hot Mics, first 100 days, as we mentioned. My friend David Walton is here. He is a beautiful actor. He's very tall. He's very handsome, and he's a dear friend. I don't just suck up to actors. I do. I spent many years doing that. But this is an actual friend. This goes beyond the world. Here he comes, the big, beautiful bastard. David Walton is here. We're going to get David's report. This is where you humiliate yourself and say the show is so great. It's just amazing. I'm kidding. Also, Hot Mics, Hot Takes coming up. We're going to talk about his Walton Goggins from White Lotus, America's new sex symbol. We'll debate that as Hot Mics with Billy Bush rolls on. We're going to take a quick break, hear from LA Golf. We'll be right back.
Welcome to LA Golf. You guys ready for the tour? We're the only golf company that manufactures its clubs here in the United States. All LA Golf drivers are built right here.
I'm very excited for today's production. It's going to be
4 left. Anybody hungry?
So does he work here?
Work here? He lives here.
Boom. Welcome back to Hot Mics with Billy Bush, presented by LA Golf. We're live on TuneIn and YouTube. Please hit the subscribe button if you haven't, if you're just interloping. My great friend David Walton joins us right now. Walty, how are you, buddy? We had a nice little time last night.
We had a lovely time. A little foggy today, but we had a lovely time.
We caught up last night. We had a cigar and a cocktail. And what do you tell? You're working on something here in town.
Yeah, I'm trying to get a job. The jobs are hard to come by.
You actors, you fight with each other.
But there's 3 of us left, so I'm on a 33% chance on paper, so hopefully we'll get it.
3 people down. It's a major network comedy. It's a big pilot. It's a big show.
Yeah, it's a new NBC. They're doing 1 pilot this year. NBC comedy, 1. And so that's the one. So I'm trying to get it.
You've worked with them before. You did About a Boy with Minnie Driver on NBC.
I've done a lot with NBC.
You've been over to Fox. You did a little New Girl with Fox.
We've done some CBS, Billy.
Yeah, we did some CBS with Vandercheeks.
Yeah, 9JKL.
9JKL.
Mark Feuerstein.
Mark Feuerstein, what a great guy. He's coming back to NBC with Royal Pains.
I heard they're rebooting.
Yeah, it took it from USA Network, and now they're going to do a whole reboot and put it on NBC.
Mark is a lovely man and deserves all the good things.
A wrestler in high school.
Can
you see him in a onesie?
I would like to see a singlet. I would like to see Mark in a singlet.
He's a stout, tight little package of a man.
He's so tight.
He would love to be in this conversation right now. You know, wouldn't he? Oh.
He feels my arms just as much as you do.
Your arms are huge. They're very, very big and strong. It's our 100 days. You've caught Hot Mics before.
Hot Mics is you're my favorite on my Instagram. So I get more clips. This is the first time I've seen the live show, but it's really impressive. You have a major operation back there.
We got great people.
It's a real deal thing. So there's a lot of obviously energy, intellect, and talent being poured into this beautiful show.
That's a great review for the. You know what I love is there's Howie Mandel is my landlord.
Howie's head is so beautiful.
Oh, his bald head?
It's incredibly.
Have you seen the mannequins of Howie? His bald head is all over this building.
But the coloring of his head is extraordinary. I don't think people get it on camera. I didn't look at him. He didn't realize that I was wanting to reach out, which I know would not be helpful for him, but I wanted to touch it.
He probably let you touch his head, but I don't think anything, as long as you don't touch his hands.
I will never touch Howie.
Yeah. He's a little, so buddy, what I love is, we were talking about this last night, it's the vulnerability. It took me 8 years since getting fired to do Hot Mics. And then I finally got through my PTSD of cancellation and getting my ass kicked all over the place. And I was like, you know what? It's just time. And not only that, I'm taking the damn name. The Hot Mic.
You took it back.
I took it back. The Hot Mic. Oh, God. You said You said you love Howie's head?
That is the creepiest
Would you like to
thing.
wear this?
Yeah.
It's rubber. You can slide it on right here. You can
This
slide
is the
yourself in this thing.
creepiest development.
If you're watching on YouTube, you know what's going on. If you're listening on TuneIn, I am holding a big rubber head of Howie Mandel. It's disgusting. But we talked about vulnerability. And, I mean, you've tried.
Well, I would say we were getting vulnerable with each other last night.
We're good at that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I shared something I'd never shared with anybody before, and then you kind of, I was really, because I find your fearlessness doing this to be a superpower. I have like so much respect for it. I find it inspiring.
But it took forever. You said, how long did it take you to find it? And I said, 8 years.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, shit, that's a long time. But it's true, because when you just, I was afraid for years, I was afraid to like a tweet that I was afraid someone would see and be like, Billy Bush liked that tweet. Billy Bush is as sick as the person who posted it. I'm like, yeah, we all have a sick sense of humor. We laugh at stuff, you know, and now it's gone. But it took a long time to exercise those demons.
I'm terrified of social media still. Like, I find it's really uncomfortable. I don't know why.
Well, you're an actor and you embody, other people. We talked about something else, which I think is fascinating. And we both confessed that everybody in life has a Krasinski.
Yeah.
And it's that guy that you are like inexorably intertwined with. If you're an actor, you end up in audition rooms, maybe sometimes together. You're always seeing the same person. Or like when they go up and have success and you're like, oh, you can't help but be like a seesaw. They go up, you kind of go down.
Yes.
Like I had Ryan Seacrest forever. Like I was like in the top 3 or 4 for American Idol back in the day. That's what the audition people told me. There's like 4 people left. You're one of them. I'm like, oh my God, this is a huge English show. This is going to be amazing. It's going to be fantastic. Seacrest and the poor Dunkelman guy, did he get Dunkelman? He's gone. But Seacrest gets, and from there he parlays everything into hundreds and hundreds of $1 million. And, I'm finding my way doing my beautiful little homegrown thing. That's gone too. I've got new people, but we all do it. You have a Krasinski.
I went to Brown with John Krasinski, and we were great friends. And I was telling you guys 2 days ago, the story ended in a way. I was driving.
Well, wait. You went on spring break together one time.
And
Krasinski, just the two of you. How romantic.
It was.
What are you guys, like Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman? I mean.
No, it was, he is the funniest to this day, one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. He's incredibly warm, gregarious. He's got a photographic memory with names. And we were in the same sketch comedy troupe at Brown. And we were dear friends. What gets revealed as you both try to become actors is that there is an unspoken competitiveness.
Yes.
And so
in every world.
Every world. And so I'll start with the end. Yesterday, I'm driving. I'm just really nervous because I have these auditions. I'm just passing the time, and I look up, and there's a billboard of John Krasinski for the new big movie. It's an Apple movie, and his head is like outside of the billboard. And I looked up at it, and for the first time in really my life, I felt so proud and happy for him. I just like melted, and I started laughing in my car, and I started talking to him. I started saying like, good on you, boy. Like the odds to do what he's doing, to get where he got, it takes so much courage and will and luck and just talent. And I felt it for the first time, like this genuine happiness. So John, if you're listening, I miss you. And I'm so happy for everything that you've done and accomplished. It is truly an inspiration. But it wasn't always that. Like when his movie came out where they didn't talk, the horror movie, and it made like $1 kajillion.
A Quiet Place, I think it's called.
A Quiet Place? Dude.
They're very quiet.
I was bedridden for 2 days. Like I was could have
had that role. That could have been me.
I was just like, it was inexplicable. And I told some close friends, I was like, do I need to be hospitalized? Like, why does this do this to me?
Yeah.
And then I don't know why, but it's just gone. It's just gone. I think I just grew up or something.
God.
Thank God. But it's fun because everyone does have a Krasinski. Stallone, Schwarzenegger, the
That's
most famous Krasinskis.
Famous Krasinskis, and now they're friends, and they're doing documentaries with Harvey Levin, which means Harvey's got secrets about both of them. I don't know. But that's going to be a household question here.
I love it.
Every star, every actor, every athlete, who's your Krasinski? In fact, we've got Kelsey Grammer next week. Kelsey, who's your Krasinski? I had Seacrest. Then, oh my God, we have him. I mean, like, I'll say it. Shoot, but like I play a lot of golf and hang out with Strahan.
Strahan's a Krasinski.
Strahan's slightly a Krasinski.
Does Strahan know he's your Krasinski?
No.
Now,
I mean, but by the way, but not like, he's not like, if Seacrest is in the same, Strahan is a Hall of Fame. I'm a Giants fan, so I worship the guy. But we play a bunch of golf together, and we have a mutual friend, McGinnis, who you know, who loves to sow tension. He loves to like find the little nerves between people and pluck them.
He's a good friend.
He's a great friend like that. So he'll sit, like when I was out of work, we're sitting on the patio of the golf club. We've played golf. It's Strahan, me, and McGinnis, about 5 guys. And McGinnis goes, Bushy, Michael has 3 jobs right now. He's doing a game show, and he's doing Fox football, and he's a very deep voice. And he's also doing GMA. How many jobs do you have currently? And I was like, I have none.
I'm self-producing one.
I've been fired for 3 years. You hurt me so badly. And he's like, Michael, can we please arrange for you to give one of your jobs to Billy? Billy should have 1, and you should have 2. It was just like unbelievable.
What a good friend.
What a good friend. All right, we're going to do some hot mics, hot takes. We'll bring in our executive producer, Rob Silverstein, for this. So he's going to present some topics here, my friend.
Oh, I stay.
Oh, yeah.
We're hanging.
Walty's in the house.
Here we go. 53-year-old
We
White
live?
Lotus star Walton
Put
Goggins
this on.
is now America's new sex symbol. Now, we're going to show you some evidence of that right now.
This is Walton Goggins.
There's your evidence.
Holy.
I know Walton.
You know Walton?
Yeah.
Walton knows Walton?
Yeah, I mean, it's weird that his name is Walton. I mean, a lot
If
of my
he was your
friends
brother,
call
he'd be
me
Walton.
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 And we have a weird Cro-Magnon brow that we share. Go ahead. Can I see that picture
Yeah,
again?
can we put up this yellow Speedo again, the banana hammock, please? We want to see the banana hammock one more time. Jesus, Walton, he's got some abs.
He's shredded. He's got that 70s movie star look, you know, where you just fit always. But he looks like a guy who could rip 3 packs a day, no problem, live till 95. You know, just like genetically totally cool.
I think he did do that in the White Lotus. By the way,
that show was so phenomenally good. My first show was with Mike White, by the way. So
you did with Mike White?
It was called Cracking Up. It was my first break.
Walton, lob in a little email that just triggers him and says, so proud of what you're doing, and hopefully that that gets into his brain and it germinates, and then you're on White Lotus season 4. Because
I actually emailed him.
Would you show your ween? By the way,
I emailed him while he was writing season 3, and I told him how much ecstasy I had done in Thailand at the full moon party. And when I actually watched the series, I was like, I wonder if that email got into the show.
Yeah, there was some ecstasy at a falloon party. But if you were on White Lotus season 4, would you show your ween?
No, absolutely not. No, no way, dude. I will humiliate myself.
I say, give it to Krasinski. Give it to Krasinski. I don't.
Krasinski's got a bigger hog.
I bet.
No, it's not that big, dude.
I bet. Well, you were friends, and you would know.
No, he's great. He's working with great equipment.
Yeah. Okay. Rob, do we have any other?
Yes, Beyonce, began her Cowboy Carter tour at SoFi Stadium in L.A. And stunningly, as far as I can see, there were empty seats. Now, there were 65,000 people there. It was like 5,000 empty seats. But I was still kind of stunned by that. What are your thoughts?
Well, Stagecoach was this past weekend, so if you're going to go to a country show, that drained a lot of people, a lot of country fans out of L.A. But yeah, I mean, SoFi's a big... She just did a tour. She was just here. So I think there's not enough time between tours. And I remember a great music executive friend of mine telling me she's going to go on tour at the same time as Post Malone. But Post Malone's album is superior because he's working with everybody, collabs with everybody. And I think Post Malone's tour is sold out. So I think it's his time. I think she's going too soon, too back to back.
My thought is that it makes me just feel for people who are at the top of the mountain. I mean, the fact that they have to maintain a level that's so high where people are circling little things. How many people were at the thing? There was thousands.
65,000.
And now they're circling that she's going downhill. How stressful would that be in life? I mean, the rise is so much more fun than the maintenance at the top, Billy.
I don't feel that badly, though. I still feel badly for the person who was like the last audition for Destiny's Child, and they didn't make it.
Yeah.
You know, they're working at the drive-thru.
That's a solid point.
It's a solid point.
All right, Bill.
I only had 65,000 people last night.
We have one more.
Okay.
Terrence Howard turned down the opportunity to play Marvin Gaye because it required him to kiss another man, telling Bill Maher, I would cut my lips off. If I kissed some man, I would cut my lips off. It does not make me homophobic to not want to kiss a man. Agree?
I got to turn that over to the actor.
I was, when you said kiss a man, I was getting a half-mast. Sorry. I'm just teasing.
Is it Army Hammer in here?
No, sorry. Can you repeat the question?
Well, he said if
Terrence just basically
he said, I'm not playing Marvin Gaye because in the script it has me kissing another man, and I'm not homophobic. I just don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Now, would Patrick Schwarzenegger did it in White Lotus. Have you ever?
Seems kind of lame to me.
Have you ever done it on screen? Have you ever kissed a man?
No, I've only been banged by Stanley Tucci, and it was the aftermath.
By Stanley Tucci?
Have you ever heard my Tucci story, dude?
No, tell me. I just talked to him about his show Tucci in Italy 2 days ago.
So I show up for the Cher movie called Burlesque, and I'm playing a gay DJ that Tucci picks up at a party. It's a small role. I have one day of work, and it's the post-coital scene. I get into the makeup trailer, and Tucci is getting his tattoos makeup over, and the man is so yoked, dude. He's at 50-something, and he is twice as yoked as I am. I get so shamed of my body.
Were you feeling doughy?
I just didn't. I don't really like working out that much. So I was fine. I was athletic, but he had a body that was 5 times as good as mine. So if you ever watch the movie, you'll notice I'm wrapped in a shawl because I was too ashamed to have my body compared to Tucci after he just bent me over the piano.
And if anyone's going to do it, it should be Tucci.
Yeah.
Tucci in Italy, by the way, he's running around his little show. He's running around all over Italy. I just watched 2 episodes, and he eats and drinks, but he says Pilates, the way he says it, Pilates. And yoga and all that stuff. He's very religious about the body flowing movement type of workout.
He's figured it out.
Yeah. By the way, check out Conclave with...
I watched it on the plane right here.
You did?
It's so good.
Tucci. Cardinale Bellini. Assolutamente. Okay, Walty, I love you. We've played a little pickleball in our...
You're very good at pickleball.
I'm very good at pickleball, but you know what? I'll tell you, a very special person is here. Pickleball has taken this nation by storm. There's a new documentary about the sport. Ashley Underwood, its director, joins me next. She also happens to be married to Larry David. Bless her heart. Take a look at this doc. I think tennis players are realizing it's not the step down thing. Pickleball is difficult.
We're on Tennis Channel, and Isner and Sock have love.
Very hard to control the pace of play. So they're all learning that.
Oh, and he goes tweener into the net.
With anything, work hard enough at it. You know, you can get good, but they're not the same. Oh my God, welcome Ashley Underwood. Yes, she's the director, the producer, put it all together. Like I said, she's married to Larry David. Bless her heart. There's a new documentary about my favorite sport. I play pickleball every Saturday, every Sunday. It's called Dream Breaker, a pickleball story. And here we are. You just took a look. Ash, you did it. You got it done.
It was a long process, and it was not an easy feat.
Why? How did it get started? How you got the bug yourself playing, right?
Yeah. Larry and I started playing during COVID. We had a fun group together at Riviera, and I don't know. I was working in development at the time. I got a little bit of money. Wanted to make something in the pickleball space. Was kind of looking for an insider story. Didn't really want to do an overview. It's just, oh, this is popular. So to me, the most interesting thing happening in pickleball was the professionalization of pickleball, or the attempt to professionalize pickleball.
And the war that went on within
the
for
tour
control
wars.
of the tours.
It was the greatest drama. And this wasn't like a retrospective story. It wasn't like, it's not like we're telling it in hindsight. It unfolded as we were filming. So that made it kind of a very chaotic process. And there was
but
always
it was beautiful.
something.
Like you can't
always
walk
something
into
happening.
that stuff.
Yeah. I mean, also trying to manage a budget, and every day something would change in the sport, I don't know.
You can't plan for that.
Can't plan for it.
So as you're like, wait a minute, we were going to do something else. Turn around. So-and-so's fighting with so-and-so for control of the... But has it all settled down now, do we think?
I think for a minute it settled down, but I knowing the people involved and knowing what's happened in the sport, I wouldn't be surprised if there was some more drama on the horizon in professional pickleball.
You've got a couple.
But for me, like my background, I had worked with Sacha Baron Cohen, and I had done like Borat and Who Is America and all these. So for me, that sort of guerrilla style of filmmaking, or that like run and gun style of filmmaking, that's what I was used to. But there were definitely challenges, and our access actually changed. Like in the beginning, we showed up at the first Major League Pickleball tournament in Texas in November 2021, and it still had this like folksy community feel to it.
Yeah.
People were excited that a film crew was there. They were just like, thank you so much for like taking us seriously. That they felt so legitimized. And then cut to a year later, it was like, call my agent, if you want to get an interview with me. And I think that's when I ran into you, actually, which that MLP draft in Las Vegas at the MGM Hotel.
Yeah.
Do you remember?
I ran into you in the lobby, and you said, I'm making this thing. And I said, oh my God, I'm broadcasting this thing. I love pickleball so much. My friend Ken Solomon was running the tennis channel. You know Ken. And
he's in the doc.
And he said, do you want to call the play-by-play? And I did for this tournament, and it was just riveting.
Yeah, it was fun. You were the announcer for that when they brought the tennis players in for the first time.
Yeah,
because there were all these tennis players kind of retiring from tennis, but then they were coming over to play professional pickleball, and the leagues were sort of betting that the best pickleball players in the world, would beat these tennis stars, and that's not what happened in that game. But you gave it a great play-by-play. You and Matt Manassi.
Oh, thank you. What I love about this documentary is that there's so many characters. There's weirdos and wackos and all kinds of people. There's guys, living in tents and, traveling in weird vans.
Yeah.
And they're just into this incredible world. And I was wondering how long, where it would go. I think you made the right bet. It's still there are pickleball clubs popping up all over the place.
Yeah.
Right down the street from us, we're in Van Nuys right now, California. There's a whole new big indoor thing, and there's a bar in there and a thing, and people are packing these places.
Totally. Santa Monica Pickleball Club just opened too.
They just opened.
They've got like 15 courts or something, and that's over in that side of town. It's really hard. You don't have the real estate. Like there's no space to put it in. And I think those guys did a great job. I mean, they found a spot, they made it happen, and I think it took them like a couple of years, lots of red tape, and people were so excited. I was there a day or two before it opened. And people were walking by on the street, and they saw a couple people that were playing, and people just kept stopping and saying, like, what is this? When do you open? When can we come? So
amazing.
Yeah.
You mentioned, everybody heard you say that you worked on the documentary Borat.
Yeah.
What's the craziest situation that you got put into when you're running and gunning around with a camera crew, and this guy's in a giant singlet with his balls?
Well, I'm NDA'd like up to here, so I don't even, I'm not allowed to say, but I can say something really funny that happened with this. I remember once LeBron bought a team, which was a major turning point in the sport, it kind of really legitimized it.
In pickleball.
And then people started to get, the egos started to get a little bigger. People got a little greedier. Like there was just attitudes changed. And then I think LeBron's company, they also wanted to make something in the pickleball space. So we actually got kicked out of the draft, the MLP draft. And I was laughing.
LeBron's crew.
By LeBron's crew. And then, and not directly, but indirectly, like the league basically kind of let us know, sorry, we've got this exclusive deal with them now. And I just remember looking at like my producing partner and saying, I've been kicked out of a lot of places with Sasha, the Rudy Giuliani scene and all these crazy scenarios. But I was like, this is by far, I would have never thought getting access to the Major League Pickleball draft would be this difficult. I never imagined I would get kicked out of something like this, because it really wasn't, it felt more like a high school dance or something, the way they had it set up in the auditorium. I'm sure it looks better now, but these are early days when, it wasn't, it didn't feel like it was such a big deal. And I think a lot of levity in the comedy in the film comes from the fact that you have this sport played with a plastic ball, and most people would think of it as like, oh, it's your your grandmother plays it. Yeah. But these guys are like real athletes. And then you have these billionaires and celebrities and these team owners who are taking this really seriously. They're trying to, all these sponsors come in, the agents come in, there's that, like, it's a gold rush. It just exploded. So we got to capture that really unique period of time, which is kind of like the birth of a pro sport. And I don't know if like a couple years from now we'll look back and go, oh, remember when professional pickleball was a thing? Or if we'll look back and go, oh, why didn't I invest in a pro pickleball team? Like, when it was...
With my luck, it's why didn't I invest in a pickleball team?
Yeah. Yeah, you said that in the movie. Because when we started filming several years ago, you could buy a team for around $100,000. And then 2 years later, there were $10 million teams.
Yeah, millions.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Dreambreaker, a pickleball story. If you love the sport, you like to play it, you want to play it, it's just wild to see the advent of how this thing became a thing, and how the professional, the rich people fought over it against the little guy, and it just, how it all worked out and who gained control. And it's just it's a good drama, and it's got a lot of laughs in it. I'd call it a drama.
It has the greatest characters in it. There's some really funny, pickleball lends itself to, these quirky characters, and we have a lot of that in there too. So
amazing. All right, now for the women out there that want to know, everyone, you've been married to Larry for several years. What is the key to being married to Larry David? And I probably have my own answer.
I don't know. A lot of patience, a
good
sense of humor.
I think you have the best sense of humor.
I think he married me because I'm an easy laugh, and I will laugh at like anything. Yeah,
your laugh is amazing, and he hears it, and it just like fills him up, and like he can make it through the day.
Yeah.
Larry, you're a very lucky man if you're watching this, and you're not.
Larry, actually, I brought Larry out of sort of semi-retirement, whatever he's doing right now. It's op-ed season, we like to call it, but he's
writing op-eds, all right.
I brought him out to whistle. He's a great whistler, and he always is boasting about his whistling talents. And he whistles on 2 of the songs in my film, and he's credited at the end of the film
as a whistler.
As a whistler. He's just buried deep in the credits there. Whistler number 1.
Is he really that good a whistler? Larry's a whistler?
He was great. The composer, he said, you can come back and whistle anytime you want on any of my projects.
Oh my God.
So there is a future for Larry.
That's unbelievable. Where can people watch it?
It's on Max. And
on Max.
True TV, but it's streaming on Max.
Streaming on Max right there with the White Lotus. I love it. Ashley Underwood, great job.
Thanks, Billy.
Thanks for letting me be part of it.
Thanks.
I loved it. All right, it's Wednesday. That means my boy Vinnie, my guy Vinnie, my assistant Vinnie, it's weigh-in day. Ashley, we do it like the 1970s, the Pan Am, when they used to weigh the flight attendants. Vinnie is 5'7", and he weighed 267 pounds, okay? So I told him I'd give him $5,000 if he lost 50 pounds. And he's down, I think, Rob, 30 pounds or something like that. And now it is weigh-in day. We do it every week. Vinny, what was the last you weighed? Do you remember?
I don't, honestly. I think it was 237.
237, and it started at 267. Yeah, you were 30 pounds down total. You got 20 more to go. 237, and where are we today? It's so skinny. Vinny, the Slim Reaper. They're rolling it. Oh!
234.
234. You've dropped another 3 pounds, my friend.
Yes, sir.
You are now very much. Would we say that's the home stretch?
Yeah. Oh yeah. What is it? How many pounds do I need? 17?
You need
Or,
you're gonna need 23 more, 27 more pounds.
27?
You're down 33 pounds right now. 17.
Yeah.
17 more.
yeah.
We're both such idiots. We can't do math. 17 pounds
17.
left.
Yeah.
You said you were gonna make a big sprint over
I
the
thought
next
I
couple
was going to
weeks.
do 8 pounds this last week.
You did 3.
I did set up a Peloton at my dad's house. So I'm going to hit that Peloton now.
Nice, buddy. That's what
Yeah.
I do. I'm so proud of you, man. All right.
Thank you.
I hope, some people would be saying, stick a pizza in his face so you don't have to pay him. Not me. Skinny Vinnie the Slim Reaper. All right. On behalf of Howie Mandel, my landlord, thank you, Howie, for having us again today. Hot Mics with Billy Bush is presented by LA Golf. Take your swing to the next level with LA Golf's cutting-edge technology. I stand by it 100%. It's the best stuff. Visit lagolf.com and upgrade your game. And thanks for listening, and you can do so exclusively on TuneIn when you're in the car, or ask your Alexa or Google to play Hot Mics with Billy Bush, and they'll do it, I think. So if you missed a show, go to tunein.com/hotmics to catch up on previous episodes. Thank you so much for watching. We'll be back on Monday. Ta-ta.